Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and it's Friday afternoon. It's time to end off the week before a very gorgeous weekend here in Glasgow, but it's quiet for Celtic. Despite waiting on our next signing to stroll through the doors at Celtic Park, we don't have a great deal of news to talk about. Some wee minor stories here and there, but nothing of great significance. So hopefully that changes as the weekend goes on. But nonetheless, a few things to catch up on. Bear with me. Let's start with the good news surrounding Jota, who is remaining very positive after his horrible injury news. If you haven't already, please make sure to hit like and subscribe. It would be much appreciated. We will be live once more on the channel tomorrow morning for a watch along as Celtic play Estrela de Armada in Lisbon. It's another friendly for Celtic as we prepare for the 25-26 campaign behind closed doors, but live on Celtic TV. Kickoff is at 11 AM. We will be live on the channel from 10:50 AM tomorrow, so join in for some conversation, for a laugh during the game, and hopefully we'll have a lot of news to talk about. Now, of course, one of the negatives about last season was the injury that Jota sustained right at the end of our Scottish Premiership campaign. Remember, in that win against Dundee United, Jota had to go off with an ACL injury, and at the time, reports suggested that Jota could face 6 to 9 months out of action. 6 to 9 months, which meant he could have been out right until 2026. We've had very little updates since, but Jota spoke to the club firsthand yesterday and revealed that he's remaining very positive, very optimistic in his healing process, and right now is feeling good. So this is what Jota said speaking to Celtic TV this morning. "I'm feeling really well and trusting the process. It's a long one, but I'm happy with developments, and I think I'm on the right track to be fit and in good shape playing football again. It's always unlucky to get injured, but seeing the timelines, this actually gives me a bit more time to recover. It's just about doing the right things every day so that I can come back well from the injury." He was very positive about his mental state, saying, "From his perspective, I think there's always something worse that could have happened, and if this happened, there's a reason for that. There's no point me going down mentally. I have been through worse in different stages of my life, worse situations. So this, compared to other things, it will be nothing. I'm just curious and open-minded about all of the process." So we've always known Jota to be quite the philosophical type during his time at Celtic, both in his first spell and since returning. He's always been very well spoken, very eloquent in his state of mind, but it's nice to hear him be so positive about his situation. It was a really bad one to take. An ACL injury is never good, and for some athletes it can spell the beginning of the end, but to hear him say that the developments are good, that he's on track to come back and play football at the same level, that's the kind of thing that you want to hear. And after spending 8 million quid for him in January, you know, you really want him being back and being strong, and being as strong as he once was. We never really truly got to see Jota back at the level we seen him in his first tenure, because he was still getting back up to match sharpness. He didn't have a lot of time between February and May to get that match sharpness and to get back to that level we first expected of him, or first saw of him, I should say. But he was getting there, and then to have it derailed in such tragic fashion as well was a real sickener. So I'm glad to hear that he's been positive. I'm glad to see that the situation is getting better for him and he's healing every day. And hopefully he's back in the Celtic side sooner rather than later. He also added that his life at Celtic has been full of emotion, from the beginning to then leaving to then coming back and now the injury. It's kind of the life of Celtic, isn't it? There's never a straight line. It's always up and down. But I'd rather live that way than just have nothing happen. Just a constant line. So it's good to hear how positive he is staying through everything, and hopefully soon we'll get a more extensive update on his situation via either himself or Brendan Rodgers. The original timescale suggested that it could be as late as January 2026 for his return, but if all things go well, then who knows, maybe we'll get him back a little bit sooner. Soon as he's back, that winger department looks really, really strong if we make the couple of signings that we need. So yeah, wishing him the best of luck. It's good to hear from him, and it's nice to see that he joined up with the team in Portugal. So talking about wingers, the mystery of Michel and Balikwisha goes on, and Celtic fans are quite rightly getting a little bit annoyed at how long this is taking. whether that's down to Celtic stickling on the transfer fee or whether that's down to the player himself. We don't quite know all the details. However, remember yesterday it was reported that Michel-Ange Balikwisha had missed training. There was many reports that came out that he wasn't at training with Antwerp. Well, we had clarification on that, and he's also been spotted back at training today. So this is the Antwerp manager talking on the situation, Steph Wills. He said that some players, including Balikwisha, were struggling with classic preparation ailments. After 3.5 weeks of inactivity, we've trained hard these past few days, and I'd rather give these guys something different to do for a day and to get back on track rather than pushing them to their limits. So lots of rumours circulated over a potential injury, some things as serious as that. He's not injured. He, alongside other players, are just struggling with the intensity of getting back into training, it seems like. So they gave him the day to go and do something different. I'd imagine he had other preparations to get on with, instead of training with the rest of the team. So he is fine, he's not injured, and he was spotted back at training today. In fact, there was a photograph that was shared by Antwerp on Twitter, and Michel-Ange Balikwisha was spotted front and centre of that photo. However, Celtic still believed to be in close negotiations with him and Antwerp to get that deal done. Now, I feel like a broken record. I feel like he will be a Celtic player. I really want him to be a Celtic player. I just really want it over and done with, because these are the type of things that spur the negativity on in these windows. I feel like there's been such an abundance of negativity amongst Celtic fans in this window, and I feel like situations like this don't help. When you have a player in particular who is taking far longer than the average signing to arrive at the club, and people just get anxious and people get worried that it's not going to happen, that Celtic are going to mess about in negotiations. Celtic just need to make a real statement, a show of intent that by bringing him in, that the rest are going to follow. And I hope that this is over and done with next week. I really thought that by today we would have an answer either side of the situation, whether it would be happening or not. But here we are, still wondering, still waiting. And people are pissed off about that, and rightly so, you could say. So hopefully that's sorted by next week, but he is back in training, he's not injured, and yeah, we've just got to wait and see. Now, final story for today, and I feel like it's a waste of time talking about it, but the name is coming up more and more these past 24 hours. Bojan Miovski has once again been linked with Celtic in these past 24 hours after reports in Spain said it looks likely he could leave Girona this summer. So this is where it spawned from, this article here by Alex Besias in Spain, AES.com, who said that the gamble of Miovski hasn't worked out at Girona. After 876 minutes, 17 games and only 2 goals, it looks as though he's nowhere near the level of the strikers that they have at the club, and it looks as though that they're willing to move him on. It looks as though that's going to happen, and specifically Celtic were mentioned in saying that Girona know there's interest from Celtic, and also interest in the Bundesliga, specifically from Freiburg and Hamburg. Those are 2 clubs who have apparently expressed interest in Miovski. Now, I sound like a broken record, but it's not happening, is it? And neither it should. I said it last year that I didn't want Miovski at the club, and I'd rather Adamida because I just didn't think he was good enough for Celtic. And I think that's been proven with his time at Girona. And it's just not going to happen. This whole thing is a waste of time. And I've already seen comments popping up on videos I've done this week saying, oh, there's Miovski's name's getting linked with us again. Miovski's been mentioned. And the reason I brought it up in this video is just to get my opinion out of the way and to put my thoughts in the air. I just think it's nonsense. I think it's a very easy piece to write because Celtic have been linked with him in the past and because he's now leaving Girona. And yeah, that's that. I just don't think there's anything in it. We're signing Shin Yamada. We're potentially looking at Giuseppe Ambrosino in Italy as well. Celtic aren't going to go and spend $5+ million on Bojan Miovski when he's had a season like that. It wouldn't make any sense. And when we've got Ida at the club and we're bringing Yamada into the club and we've got Osmond at the club and we've got Kenny at the club, it just wouldn't make sense to go out and sign him. And I don't think we should because I don't think he's good enough. I don't think there's anything in this at all. And from what I've heard, that seems to be the case. So I might be putting my neck on the line and saying that this will amount to nothing, but I truly do think this will amount to nothing. That's what I believe. And I think that's the way it should be, because I just don't think he's good enough for Celtic. So that's that. But his name is popping up. It's doing the rounds. I guess it's one that you can keep your eye on, but I would put your money on him going to Germany or somewhere else, because I just don't think it will be Celtic. And finally, just before we go, as I have been editing this video, we got some massive breaking news. I mean, we knew it was coming, we just didn't know it would be this afternoon, but Celtic have confirmed the departure of Nicholas Kühn as he leaves for Como in Italy. This statement dropped at 2 o'clock this afternoon. It's currently, what time are we on? 20 past 2, 20 minutes ago at time of recording. Nicholas Kühn has today joined Como on a 4-year deal and will leave Celtic with the luck and success from everybody at the club. Joined from Rapid Vienna back in 2024, now moves on, yada yada yada, goes through his career. We all know what he done, and I'm very grateful for everything that he done with his short time at the club. Very short time, very big impact for Nicholas Kühn. He was obviously a front runner for a while to be Player of the Year. Last season tailed off a wee bit in the new year, but yeah, we are still waiting for the final details to emerge of the package that we've sold him for as I record this. It is for that fee, as we all know, of £16 million roughly. We've made big profit on him. And we'll wait and see if there's anything in the line of add-ons or anything like that. But we do know that Celtic have made big money. And now it's our job to reinvest it in the squad. Celtic. Get it done. But Nicholas Kühn has officially left. He's no longer a Celtic player. Good luck at Como. Right, that does it for today. A quiet day, as I mentioned, but nonetheless, we'll be here all weekend to hope and pray that something comes along with some real meat to it, some meat on the bone, and hopefully Celtic get moving in this window. Right, if you've enjoyed, make sure to hit like and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you all next time.